D-Lo 404 Boxing. Let me get into this real quick. So, excuse me. As we know, over the weekend, Jaron Ennis was on the undercard of Clarissa Shields' fight. Had a very good showing. Of course, during that fight, he dropped his opponent several times and eventually got the stoppage. I think it was a fourth round stoppage. Every skill that Ennis usually displays in his fights was on display in that fight. He did a phenomenal job controlling distance, getting off his combination punches, and basically just befuddling his opponent and confusing him and basically getting him to a situation where the guy was, basically outgunned. That said, Jaron Ennis is still a young fighter. I think Ennis is like 22, 23 years old. He's crowd pleasing, fan friendly, so to speak. Seems like a very likable kid. He's definitely someone I've been supporting and getting behind for quite some time. And it was like a year ago he talked about wanting to fight the Errol Spencers of the world, and he's kind of backed off of that. But I think some of that talk came out of frustration because he can't get the guys a tier or two below that to fight him. But that said, I'm sure this young man actually believes in his abilities and believes that he can beat anybody he gets in the ring with. All right, I've heard some foolish comments made on some channels. I've heard foolish talk from Cameron Duncan and others saying that Jaron Ennis is the absolute best that they've ever seen, had, or whatever. Out of, I think Cameron said he had 35 champions, and out of all of those guys, Jaron Ennis, in his opinion, is better than all of them. I mean, that's guys ranging from Timothy Bradley to Bud Crawford. I mean, and a lot, of course, a lot of other guys sprinkled in there. But that said, I would not take the Jaron Ennis of today and put him versus the Tim Bradley in Bradley's very last fight. I mean, that's God's honest truth. I would not take the Jaron Ennis of today and put him in the ring with the Tim Bradley who beat I'm trying to keep it at 147. I was about to say Junior Witter when Bradley won his title, but that was at, I think, 135, 140. But let's just say the Tim Bradley who beat Brandon Rios, and that was an older Tim Bradley. And I definitely wouldn't put him with any version of Bud Crawford that I've seen at 147 pounds. And that's the guy whose name keeps coming up is, because of course Bradley retired. So the name that keeps coming up is Bud Crawford. Bud was at that fight to support the event. Ennis talked about Bud Crawford in the post-fight, saying that Bud was there, and that's definitely a fight they want to do down the road, and which he should. But he didn't say anything about, wanting to fight Bud Crawford anytime in the immediate future. But then his people started coming out making not gonna say making accusations, but making comments about, and speaking out in interviews saying that, Jaron is ready for a guy like Bud Crawford right now, and that he would just totally annihilate Bud Crawford. And you got some people that have heard that and have taken that and ran with it, and even some that have gone a step further to say that, Bud Crawford hadn't fought anybody on the level of a Jaron Ennis, which is absurd. Man, I just say this about the whole situation. Let Jaron Ennis be good and eventually great in his own right. Jaron Ennis' time is coming. Boots' time is coming. Right now is not it. The guy needs to develop. He seems to be on his way to stardom. But right now, we know who he is because we're avid boxing fans. But aside from that, man, John Q, boxing fan, doesn't know who in the world Boots Ennis is. But that doesn't mean that he can't hang with these guys. But the reason that they don't know who he is, these people don't know who he is, because Boots hasn't fought anyone of note to even get anyone excited about what he really can do. I made a video after the fight, giving him his props. But I'll say this: there's a group of guys that I could think like 5 guys off the top of my head that will be step-up fight for Jaron Ennis. And in saying that these guys are step-up fights, that says everything that needs to be said about him not being near ready to face the guys like Errol Spence Jr., Bud Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, those guys. Okay? At this point, the type of guys that I would like to see Jaron Ennis step up and fight are your Josecito Lopez type guy. A guy like even an Amir Khan at this point. They say both of them have hand speed. I've seen yesterday somebody actually said that he's faster than Amir Khan. So let's see. Okay? He can learn a lot in a fight versus Amir Khan. I don't care how many losses Amir Khan has. Luis Collazo. That's a fight that would be a good step-up fight. If they could get Adrian Granados back up to 147, that's a good step-up fight. And then even a guy like what's the kid's name? Amir Imam. If Amir Imam can make it, you know, they say he's going to campaign at 147 now. Amir Imam would be a good step-up fight for Boots Ennis. But I definitely don't want to see him fighting guys like, you know, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Shawn Porter, those type guys right now. He's not ready for that level of guy based on who he's already fought, in my opinion. And I'm telling you, not only based on who he's fought, but based on looking at the flaws that he has right now, the mistakes he makes in the ring. I mean, he got hit a lot by his last opponent. Kept getting caught with hooks to the head. Boots is learning on the job, but he's only going to learn so much until his level of opposition increases. You know, once his level of opposition improves, he's going to improve, because he's going to have to. He's going to have to rise to the occasion, and he's going to get better and better and better. Throwing him in the ring with somebody like Bud Crawford right now would be much worse than Lubin fighting Jermell Charlo when he fought him. That's all I'm going to say on it. But let me say one more thing to elaborate. Boots switches a lot. He talks about it kind of just comes natural to him. He don't know when he's going to switch. He just kind of does it off instinct. I'm telling you, watching this guy fight, he switches at times he shouldn't be switching. And when he does switch, he squares himself up. He's getting away with that versus the guys he's fighting because of their level. That is something that Boots needs to clean up before he fights the better opposition, or the very best guys at 147 pounds. Squaring up like he does when he's switching, or he kind of like gets hung up in between stances and just stands there square and throws punches, right, left, right, left, right, left. When he does that, he's open for so many counters and so many big shots. And just because you have fast hands doesn't mean you're above getting countered. Just ask Amir Khan about that. That's all I got to say on the subject. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And in no way, shape, form, or fashion is this any kind of hate towards Jaron Ennis. I absolutely love watching the kid fight. I can't wait to see his level of opposition step up, and I can't wait to see him eventually. I have expectations of him eventually taking over 147-pound division, should he be able to stay in that weight class. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.